so many crotch copters, so many ankle rockers. With all those reviews that were done, we can only take a look at 10 of these figures. Now what we're gonna do is boil it down to 10 of my favorite figures in no specific order. Now let's take a look at some awesome plastic. 10 and 9. Now what I'm gonna do is take a look at both of these. The SH Figure Street Fighter line came out at around the beginning of the year, and we got Ryu and Chun-Li. Now these guys are pretty good. We got some awesome articulation and detail, and my only gripe with these figures is that with most figure arts you end up with some tight joints, so I had to take them apart and loosen them up. But that being said, I thoroughly enjoyed these figures, and I also have the Storm Collectibles Ryu, which isn't so bad, but this Ryu can do so much more than that one can and look natural in those poses, and this Chun-Li is just amazing. Number 8. Speaking of Storm Collectibles, this Scorpion figure took me in for a loop. I was very surprised with how good this figure was. When I got the Ryu figure, like I said, I was a little disappointed. It wasn't bad, it just was bulky in weird areas, so I wasn't sure what to expect from this guy, which took forever to get here. I pre-ordered this figure quite a while before I actually received it. It was due out in, I think February, and I didn't get it until June. But this guy's articulation and detail and the amount of accessories this guy came with was amazing. I was very, very impressed with this guy, and I really hope the rest of the Mortal Kombat line is just as good as this guy. 7 and 6. Now, the Sin Toys, or 1000 Toys 1/12 figures, came out pretty awesome. This is an all-new line that started at the beginning of the year, and I couldn't be more impressed with how good these figures are. I haven't reviewed the card yet. I do plan on reviewing that guy, and I received a clear one of the synthetic human for my birthday. That being said, if you don't have anything from this line, do yourself a favor and pick it up. These are just nice pick up and play, super articulated figures, and I can't wait for the Kieth Safeguard to come out. Number 5. Now, at the beginning of last year, I also got into the Mezco 1/12 line. These figures are pretty nice, and this Punisher is probably my favorite one of the bunch that I did purchase. Now, this line is a little pricey, so it's not really for everybody, and some guys don't really dig the cloth either, but I do like that kind of thing going on with this line, and the amount of articulation is pretty decent, all things considered. If you got the money, do yourself a favor and drop the $80 and get a couple of these guys while they're fresh, because once they're sold out, they do kind of skyrocket in price, so there is that. But I do thoroughly enjoy this figure. Number 4. Now, this Deadpool Figma is probably one of the best Figmas that I've ever played with. The articulation, the amount of, accessories, details, this guy was just, I had so much fun with this figure. I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't really sure what to expect from this guy, and then getting like the DX version and having all this extra stuff. This, if you're not, which I said this in my review, if you're not in a Revoltex, this is the go-to. Just forget that the Marvel Legends even exist. Just pick this guy up. I would say that this was Figure of the Year, but then I picked up one of my the Sentinel toys, not Sentinel, the Sin Toys, 1000 Toys 1/12 figures, and I forgot how good those were. So those are pretty close with each other. So definitely enjoyed this figure, and I'm glad that I got him. And I gotta give a shout out to my buddy Jeff for hooking me up with this guy, because that's the only reason I have this figure. 3, 2, and 1. When they debuted this line with Deadpool at the end of 2016, I knew that from that point forward, that Revoltex were only going to keep getting better and better. Now, with that being said, I was slightly disappointed in Venom and Magneto, but these three figures right here pretty much kept me into this line. And I'm still going to keep collecting the line. I probably won't get Captain America because I'm just not a Captain America fan, but that Carnage is looking baller. All three of these guys are sporting some really awesome articulation, and the Wolverine especially. When I bought the Deadpool, I was like, they have to make a Wolverine. And when they announced that, I was the happiest guy alive. It's one of my favorite characters, and this is a really awesome representation of the guy. The Spider-Gwen came out of left field, and she's just everything that was weird about Spider-Man. Even though I love the Spider-Man figure, Spider-Gwen improves on that so much, and Wolverine even improves more on the articulation and the way that they've done it. I'm very glad that Katsuhisa Yamaguchi has just upped his game so much, and I can't wait to see what else he plans on releasing. I want to see characters like Psylocke, I want to see Cyclops, I want to see some Storm, you know, any Marvel character. I'm excited to see from this guy because he's doing some really awesome just comic art style. Like, a lot of guys are preferring the realistic look and this, that, and the third, but I'm loving this line. I'd like to do a couple of honorable mentions here. Now, I had a friend that lives in California who was nice enough to snag me this limited edition Good Smile Anniversary blank Figma, the archetype next to She. When I received this in the mail, I had quite a bit of fun posing her and giving her random weapons. I'm a sucker for blank figures. I have this one. I have the clear one that comes with the Good Smile Max Factory Bug. And I have the first version of the archetype. Now, if you're into blank figures, I definitely suggest you pick her up. She, in my opinion, is a lot better than the Figure Arts blank, but the male blank is pretty good. Now, I will be doing a full review of her, as well as this lady right here. Now, another friend of mine, him and I went half and half to order two of these, and this figure's pretty darn good too. But I didn't make it into my top 10 because there was just so many figures that I really liked, but I felt that I should at least mention that this is a good figure, and she also will be getting a review. And for the last honorable mention, this Mega Man figure, the True Force Mega Man X, is one amazing figure. And the only reason this didn't make it into the top 10 is because I kind of just got this guy not too long ago, and I didn't put too much time into posing it like I really wanted to. I got a lot of stuff around the same time, and with high-end figures, I don't mess with them too much because there's possibilities of them breaking and stuff like that. But this guy does feel sturdy, all things considered. Now, I want to do a full review of this guy as well, and I managed to get this guy in a trade. I had a friend that was looking for the Figure Arts Vegeta that I reviewed a while back. I ended up not liking that figure as much as I thought I would. He was looking to complete a set, and we traded. This is what he wanted to give me for that figure, so I took him up on his offer. With that being said, that's my top 10 plus 3 honorable mentions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys at the next review.